Poor people living in African countries are feeling the brunt of global climate change, even though it's believed that most Africans hardly cause any greenhouse gas emissions. To find out more about the average Kenyan carbon footprint, I spoke to my neighbour Rhoda. Rhoda is a domestic worker and she came to Nairobi from her rural home in search of a job. Rhoda rents a house and she lives with her husband and one child. Okay, Rhoda. There's just some simple questions I wanted to ask you about the way you live, how much impact you have on the environment. And we're going to put it on the computer. How do you cook?
I cook with the paraffin. I use stove. Then I have the chico. I have to use the charcoal. Yeah, we don't have any electricity. That is the most problem we have because we have to use a lot of paraffin in our lamps. We can't watch the news.
And how much paraffin do you use per month?
6 liters.
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I eat.
How often?
Twice a month.
How many plastic bags do you use per week?
3. When I'm going for last shopping, I can use it to carry my things.
Okay, what about plastic bottles?
Per week, it's maybe one. One for paraffin, the other one for drinking water.
How much firewood do you use?
We just collect just a little near our house there.
Do you chop down the tree to get the firewood?
No, it's the broken pieces.
Okay, so we put 0. Do you have a car?
No.
Do you have a motorbike?
No.
When you go far, let's say you have to go home to your family, how do you go there?
Through Matatu.
50 kilometers per month when you're going up country. So this is how much carbon we've worked out on the computer. 1,345 kilogram of carbon dioxide. It's not a bad figure. This one is a very good figure. Do you know what carbon dioxide is?
No.
Most Kenyans are not aware that carbon emissions play a role in the climate changes that they are witnessing locally. Has the drought affected you?
Yes. Through the food, then water.
But can they do something to prevent another drought from coming?
Yes, they can. Just to plant a lot of trees. That is the most important. My husband has planted a lot of trees. It's the number one. Because when we cut trees, we can't then get water.
So, Rhoda, are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
Why are you happy?
Because I'm healthy.
Are you happy because you have a child, you have a husband?
Yes, I have a job.
What kind of things make you worry?
We are living with my grandmother, so we have to take care of them, to buy everything they need. And we have to struggle to see whether we can buy our house and even to prepare my daughter's life for future.
So when Wairimu grows up, what do you think she will become in her job?
To be a doctor.
In Kenya or somewhere else?
Outside Kenya.
Okay, in like which place?
America.
Now, why would you want your daughter to go to America? That's so far away.
There is a lot of money there. Yeah. Anyway, you can't do anything without money. You can't do anything without money.
Like most Kenyans, if she had more money, Rhoda would drive a car, use electrical appliances and buy a butane stove. And so the decision makers at Copenhagen must offer solutions on how to alleviate global poverty without aggravating climate change. As I was visiting Rhoda's house, a light rain began to fall. It's unusual for this time of the year, but a much appreciated blessing. The worst drought in living memory is over, it seems, at least for now.